Hey guys, it's Derrick. Welcome back to another episode of MedHead. Today we're going to be ranking the best extracurriculars for you to get into medical school. Now this list is going to differ from person to person. People are going to have different opinions. Also, it's going to differ from school to school. For instance, research might be really important at some schools such as UT Southwestern and Baylor College of Medicine are pretty heavy on research, and others might not care as much. That being said, I did a lot of research on what these schools would like to see, what they think are the most important, by looking at resources such as the MSAR, which is Medical Students Admission Requirements booklet, and also looking at schools' individual websites. Also, that being said, I kind of put my own judgment and experience in there. At the end of the day, the best extracurricular is the one the student can explain the most, learn from the most, and also kind of connect the most to their reasoning to wanting to be a physician. That being said, here are the top. Number 1, shadowing. This might be super surprising to a lot of you because shadowing doesn't seem like much other than following a physician. But what it really shows medical schools is that you understand what a actual environment of medical staff working together is like, and you kind of see patient interaction from day to day, and you also kind of understand that being a doctor isn't always butterflies and cupcakes. Along with shadowing, you could say this is number 1A because it's not really an extracurricular, it's more of a job. But I'm going to list this here. I'm going to say scribing is incredibly important and super beneficial for you. With scribing, you get to understand the use of different medicines. You get to learn a lot of the terminology. You get to learn how to write up a history on a patient. You get all these types of interactions with doctors, different scenarios that patients come in with. It's incredibly helpful for you, especially you having that kind of toolbox of extra information going in to the first year of medical school. So not only does scribing look great on resumes, but it's super beneficial to you. Now moving on to number 2, which is more so an extracurricular activity, and that is clinical experience. Now that's a little bit different than shadowing and scribing. Clinical experience can be volunteering, kind of working with patients. It doesn't necessarily have to be a job, and you don't have to be paid for it. A lot of clinical experience is done through volunteering, in fact. I did clinical experience, or I got my clinical experience through volunteering at the Family Health Center in Waco. That is a low-income center. I kind of worked with patients through their exercises who have diabetes, took their vitals, their blood pressure, worked with physical therapists, and that is what you can consider clinical experience. Now you may be wondering, what is the benchmark to consider an activity clinical experience? And this is the best saying I've heard. If you can smell a patient, if you're close enough to smell a patient, that is clinical experience. So don't really doubt whether or not if you're touching the patient, because most of the times because of HIPAA, you can't touch the patient. Number 3 is not so much clinically related. It can be, it is research. Research is number 3 because I'd like to say that it shows that you are kind of, ready to be in a field that is constantly moving, constantly finding new things, and you're ready to stay on your toes and you're ready to keep learning. Research enables you to show that you also are able to work with a team, you have a very critical thinking mindset, you're able to have a problem, an issue, and you're able to get over it and solve it or create a plan. Research is also very impressive when you can get it published. Now, do not think your research is not valuable if it's not published. I did research and I couldn't get it published because it wasn't my research, it was the PI's. So if you're going to do research and not have it published, still list it. It's super important. You still were a part of a research team. Now, that being said, having it published is a really big, jump. It's super impressive. Number 4 behind research is going to be a leadership role. Now, I know a lot of medical schools might not be looking for research, so some of you may switch leadership and research. Their positions may switch those for certain schools, but that leadership role is almost just as important as research because it gets to show that you are used to working with a group of people for the bettering of a project or bettering of a group. And it shows that you have the responsibility and what it takes to be a physician, because as a physician, you are a leader. And don't really worry too much about being the president of a whole organization. That is not necessary. But if you can say you are something other than a general member in a group, that is probably leadership. So don't be too worried about being president, but get those, if you're a treasurer, secretary, even media chair. You don't even have to be a chair, even a committee, that's leadership. Think about those things and try to put that in there. Number 5 after leadership is community service and mission trips. I group this together because on mission trips you'll be doing a lot of community service. This is important to show that you love to serve the community. Even if you don't love serving the community outside of the hospital, you need to show that you are just tied down to medicine, that you're willing to serve outside of the hospital walls. These things can be, pet shelters. These things can be working at a library, working at a museum, things that aren't in the hospital. Show that you have a heart outside of medicine. Number 6, I would say, is teaching or tutoring. Tutoring and teaching is a good way to show that you are ready to put yourself in an environment and you know how to work with different learning styles. Number 7, hobbies. Hobbies that are important to you, not related to anything school related necessarily. It could be karate, basketball, cooking, singing, writing, anything that you find super important. This is ranked number 7, which might surprise some of you because schools want to see that you're a person. It's not super important that you're a robot. It's actually probably worse that you might just be a robot. Make sure you branch out, find things that you love and enjoy, and it's probably not also, just to show school that you're a person, but also for your own sanity at the end of the day. Number 8 is going to be employment. Now, employment is not extracurricular, but it is, kind of something that you want to show medical schools you've already been through. You've already been employed. You've already had a boss before. You know how to work under time constraints. You know how to balance your work life with your school life, your personal life. It's something that's really important, but I rank it last because it's not as important as everything else. I would say employment over any of those other things I listed isn't something that I see much schools looking for, but it is a cherry on the top. All right, those are your extracurriculars ranked. 8 of them. There are more, but those are the top 8 that I would think medical schools would like to see. If you guys have any, suggestions for other extracurriculars, leave them below in the comments. Have any complaints? Did I say something you didn't like? A rank that you don't think was quite right? Let me know. Talk about, switching maybe research and leadership. I'll be doing another video soon on my interview at Texas A&M College of Medicine, which is going to be happening in about a week. And then after that, San Antonio and so on. So be on the lookout for those. I also will be doing a giveaway, which will require you follow my Instagram, my YouTube, and you tag someone in my Instagram. So be on the lookout for that. The giveaway will be kind of big. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but I'll probably start doing that giveaway when I get to 300 subscribers. Thank you guys for supporting me so much. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram. Make sure you also email me if you have any questions on this video or anything else. I'll be happy to help you at derrickpw2020@gmail.com. I will put that email in the description. And I'll see you guys on the next MedHead. See ya.